They used to say कि you have so many daughters, so in dowries will you be giving only degrees?
के बीच में जब when you were having blisters and everything and it was so difficult to sit at one place.
And, it will get calcified. I couldn't comb my hair for 1 year. That what cannot be cured medically can be cured karmically with the sword of Namyo Horengekyo. So it's not just for oneself, practicing for one's own happiness, also for others. I'm born to be happy and spread happiness. That made me decide that I should lead a life of no regrets.
Namaskar. Welcome to a new episode of Top Diaries. Today, we are going to have a rendezvous with Preeti. Yes, Preeti, alongside Preeti. So let me tell you a brief about Preeti. Preeti is a tapestry of experiences who has been in a journey of love, resilience, and unwavering faith. On this note, let me welcome Preeti Chauhan to this show. Welcome, Preeti.
Thank you, Preeti, for welcoming me on this special show, Dog Diaries.
Wow, great to have you with us. So let's roll now. Let us understand. I want to know, and our audience wants to know, who is Preeti and what makes Preeti Preeti?
Of course, I'm Preeti from land of valor and color, Rajasthan. And as my name exudes, love and friendship. That's what is Preeti.
And obviously, Preeti means love, definitely. Agreed. So now let's come to a point where you are a very small kid and you told that you are born in Rajasthan,
Yeah.
the land of cultures and lot of heritage.
Yes.
So can you tell me in brief about your family? How did you grow up and any special incident that you remember to date and then you smile, it gives you a smile on your face.
Yeah. Actually, I come from a, big family of 9 children.
Wow.
And our parents, a salute to them. They're icons for love for us. And they really brought us up in a very heart to heart bonded, a united family. And every child felt special. And there was no kind of like we missed anything in life. They gave us everything what one required. And like I don't remember any time like where I felt that my parents have not given me this or my brother or sister has taken away this from me. So all of us were made to feel so special in our own way. And I remember in childhood, my father, after coming back from office or wherever on Sundays and all that. So in those days, he was an engineer working on dams. And then in the jeeps, we used to all, go together for picnics and all. In those days, there were no TVs or
Right.
phones or anything
Right.
like that. So it was always a family gathering, family outings, and we thoroughly enjoyed that. So once I remember कि daddy के सामने ना, I was like always with daddy. So I used to stand in front, in the front
the jeep.
seat, in front of the windscreen, and that windscreen used to have those, levers to open and close.
Right.
And once the jeep braked and that lever right went into my right cheek,
Oh my God.
and then it happened in front of a hospital, and so then I got 2 stitches in those days. So my whole cheek was like this thing, but still that outgoing family, you can say, always wanting to be on the outside.
Wow. Nice. Yeah. So you still have the mark there on your right
Yes,
cheek.
yeah.
Yes. So you said that, there was no differentiation between the brothers and sisters. You mean in terms of education?
Yes, because in those days, I remember coming back from, Rajput families,
Right.
there was a lot of discrimination in Rajasthan between girls and boys.
Absolutely.
But we are 6 sisters and 3 brothers. So obviously, like my parents, when they didn't discriminate, so they sent us to the best of schools because my parents believed that by educating a woman, they are not only educating a family, community, but entire society.
Wow. So they're giving you a gift of education.
Gift of education was most important.
In that era where, girls were only made to study till a little bit and then getting them married off.
Yes.
So how did your father and your mother face criticism from the remaining family? They must have faced, right?
Yes. there were a lot of criticism, and like they used to say ki, you have so many daughters, so in dowries will you be giving only degrees because you're spending all your salaries and money on their education. And then parents always told them ki when I'm educating them, they will be able to pass through any kind of situation and be able to balance in life
Yeah.
with through their wisdom, through their knowledge and the love they develop in the family.
Wow, what a far-sightedness, the family had. And today, I think, you'll be proud to think back at that moment that they thought this, and today you guys are all in a wonderful place. You told that one of your sisters is in Canada.
Yeah, way back in 1967, my father sent her for higher education to Canada. She went on scholarship because she was a bright student, but there was a lot of inhibition and restrictions from the family. Ki, why are you sending a girl to study that too abroad? But way back in 1967. So I think my parents were very far-sighted and were in tune with today's society.
Amazing. So you told me that your father, is like your soulmate. So what qualities did your father instill in you that, made you who you are today?
Yeah, actually, in the family, both my parents made us, how we can be emphatic as well as caring and sharing. So, my father always taught us to be uh, not dependent on anybody for anything because of the gift of education or whatever values they taught us. To always stand up in any face of challenge or any situation, not to be like kind of defeated in that sense. I don't mean he don't accept defeats, but he always taught us never give up in
Right.
the face of challenges. So that value actually give us that indestructible or invincibility from within, that strength that I can do it, I can pass through it, I will achieve it.
Wow. Yes. And you told me that you were born in Ujjain, the
Yes.
land of Mahakal.
Yeah.
So, the deity of Shiva, and you worship Shiva.
Yes.
So, how did you get attached to Shiv Bhagwan, and how did getting attached to Shiva, took you later in Buddhism, later in life?
Yeah. So my childhood I spent in Ujjain, and every day going to temple with my mother and my siblings. And Shiva always attracted me because he's an epitome of creator or protector and destroyer. So everything within him, but still he's so calm and composed and placid and very focused. So I always appreciated because that was the values I was learning from my father. Being, he comes from a very educated family. All brothers and sisters were engineers and doctors. And his father passed away very early. And he was the one who took on the responsibility after finding a job to educate all his younger siblings. So they're all from BHU, Banaras Hindu University, and the doctors were from Grand Medical College, Mumbai. In those days, I'm talking independence time.
Right.
So that's why that thing of Shiva, and always it gave me that strength. So
That's why it's Shiv
yeah,
for you.
and at the center of his heart, he's Bholenath.
Amazing.
That
Yes.
really, that balance really touched me.
Har Har Mahadev.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Yes. So now let's get back to the time now you're growing up. So, Preeti, how were you as a child? A very shy child or a naughty child?
Now I'm naughty, but as a child, I was very shy. Like, people used to wait for me to speak. My teachers would love to hear me. I was very soft-spoken child.
Uh huh. Okay, continue.
Yeah, but over the years and like now with interaction with so many people, I have evolved myself.
Yes, and for the better.
Yes, of course.
So, tell me something about your schooling. Like, from the tiny tots till you grew up till you're 12. How was your schooling?
You know what? My father was a very ardent reader. So he would instill, like when we would be in our holidays, he would give us books to read and all. So these Enid Blyton books,
Ah.
actually, they inspired me for, going to hostel and how the life would be living with, same age group children, even though I was in a big family. So anyways, my parents sent me to MGD. That is Maharani Gayatri Devi School in Jaipur.
Oh,
So
that
it was one of the
rich
best
school, yeah, that time.
public schools there, and all my classmates, my board classmates, they were all from royal families, like Kirti Kumari of Dungarpur, Bhavna Kumari of Jamnagar,
My
and
God.
Gayatri Singh of Sanand, and to name a few. So I was always in the company of such people who were from the elite, and learned my way of life, and grooming in MGT was too good. So,
Yeah.
and they are still
So your
my
father didn't
friends.
spare anything to get you into the top schools, all the kids.
Yes, all of us studied in MGD. My brothers studied in St. Xavier's Jaipur. So it was a very good education, and that's what we are today. I'm
Yes.
proud to say that.
Yeah, education makes a person more wiser and also more human, I feel.
Oh, yes.
Right. So let's fast forward a little bit more and let's go to the time that you are in college now. You have cleared your 12th and you've joined your science stream
Yeah.
and you are in a college. Now in the college, that time when you were studying, there were many proposals which had come in.
Yes.
And in those times only you met your life partner,
Yes.
that is Moni.
Yes.
I would say Mohan.
Yeah. So actually, I did my master's in chemistry, and there were only few girls in my class. So when we would partner for our practicals and all, my partner was a boy, and always like I got the way out, and he would help me in so many things, and I would just do the calculations and all that. From then on, I started becoming happy-go-lucky and more open in my
Yeah, the shy Preeti
Chai
suddenly
Preeti
blossomed.
evolved and blossomed into this Preeti. And that's when a lot of people were approaching, because we were in Rajasthan. I did my master's from Jaipur University. And it was never on my mind कि it was only marriage in my life.
पढ़ना था.
हाँ, पढ़ना था, उसके लिए I studied and wanted to always do something more beyond a girl would do in a family.
क्या शौक था करने का? मतलब we'll come back to your marriage later.
Yes.
क्या शौक था? What were your dreams that क्या करना चाहते थे आप?
Actually, I've always wanted to work in public relations or administrative jobs, or be an engineer, like as my father was my,
You used to look up to your
look up
father.
to. And so that was my thing. And I always wanted a life partner who would be as cheerful as my father and would be like amiable,
Ah.
educated, well mannered, like that.
So you found him, but how did you find him? So can you share that incident with us?
Yeah, it was an arranged marriage.
Met Moni for the first time.
Yes.
And what qualities were you looking for in a husband? And did you find that qualities in him?
Yes. So, as an innocent child, I told my father that I would see the boy, but I won't know whether he's the right person for me in just a meeting. So, would you help me? So, he said, no, there will be a bell which will ring in your heart. Which I
तो घंटी बजी?
तो वो बोलते ना, ने मारी एंट्री और दिल में बजी घंटी. But it was like that. But then we wanted to speak to each other and all that. And I found him, of course, he was handsome, chivalrous, like well mannered. Like, you don't want somebody who is not respecting women.
Right.
I found that he is the kind of person I'm looking for, and would laugh and joke and be a human being, and a partner in life, what you say, like for everything. He also had that attitude of happy go lucky.
Wow. So you found the right partner.
Yeah, and our interests were same. like
Eating ice creams.
eating ice creams and traveling the world. We both wanted to be globetrotters.
Wow, that's so nice. So marriage happened
Yes.
and a lavish marriage happened.
Yeah.
And then you moved to Bangalore where your husband
Yeah.
was working.
Yes.
Now, coming to a very different topic here, that you are a devotee, you were a devotee of Shiva and you are a devotee of Shiva, but your husband's spiritual beliefs were little different than yours.
Yes.
So, can you throw some light on that and how did you manage it?
Yeah, so the first time when he met me before marriage or before even saying yes to each other, and that was the time he mentioned that he believes in Namyo Horenge Kyo, which is the Lotus Sutra, and it is a teaching of Buddha.
Wow, we'll talk about that.
Yes.
So, how did you take that in?
Yeah, so I was not taken aback. I was open-minded towards it. But then my belief, my faith, my trust in my God, which I would say Shiva that time. So I said ki yes, if you have belief and trust in that, I have belief and trust in this. So both were open about it, that what he believes in, what I believe in. So faith was common. And I believe all roads lead to same God.
Wow. So you had no problem. And how did you adjust after marriage?
Yes. So I would do puja every day and he would do his chanting every day. But I found his personality, it was part of his personality. There was some aura around it. So even on honeymoon, if he delayed, like thinking he is not giving enough time to me or something, I would say, why don't you sit and chant what you chant?
Oh, so you were open to his
very
chant.
open to it.
You didn't believe it at that time,
No.
but you were open to it. Okay, you do your spiritual beliefs,
Yeah.
I will believe, but we are together as a couple.
Don't skip doing it. That's what I motivated him to continue.
Wow, that's nice. So then when did you start believing in it?
Yeah.
Because Namyo Ho Renge Kyo, which we'll talk about later, is a Buddhist, what do you call, it's a chant.
Yes.
And it's a sort of a savior, which is
Yes.
So when did you start entering into your husband's belief?
See, the first touch on our reception day, it started pouring heavily, and we had a open lawn reception.
Okay.
And we were thinking how it will happen. It was at West End here, and he was so confident. He said nothing will happen. Rain will stop when we need to go in. So I said, even if, how can you stop the rain? Like we've heard of those Purana Jamana where they
Babas.
they used to say that it will rain if you should do this puja and that puja. So I said, I don't know. I was skeptical about it. But then he sat down to chant, and he chanted for an hour, and he said the rain will stop at 6, and it did. So I don't know whether it was coincidence, but I said, something. There is something what he said.
Lega ki
He was so
magic hai.
confident. It was like a magic, but it wasn't magic. It was his belief, his trust. Ki what is best for us will happen for us.
Wow. And that gave you one step ahead to move with him.
Yeah, it's unbelievable for people and even me at that time.
So then how did you enter into Buddhism and Namyo Ho Renge Kyo?
Yeah, so it was a gradual entry. I didn't so-called like have an experience to say that this turned my life immediately. No, I just wanted to accompany my husband, being a person, family-oriented person.
बस साथ में जाएंगे उनके साथ
साथ
देखें
में
कि
जाएंगे।
हर संडे आपका होता था तो आप वहाँ जाते थे.
So I would go. It was an hour's meeting. I would go with him, sit with him, watch everybody chant around me, but I will not chant. Like it didn't come out of my mouth. But I loved the sound of chanting. That harmonious chanting gave peace to my mind. So I loved going for the meetings.
फिर क्या हुआ?
Uske baad, over a year, when there was like they have their own functions and gatherings, he said he's going to Chennai for a general meeting of this organization. So I said, what do you mean I'm going? I thought after marriage it is always we are going.
और क्या साथ में
हम
जाएंगे?
साथ हैं. So then he said, okay, come along. Because he said, why don't you join us? Okay, fine. When I went, that was the first time I started chanting, because the vibrancy and the life condition of all the people around, I could match it with what life condition my husband had. Till now I had only seen him. But when I spent 2 days with others, I saw it is everybody brimming with so much of enthusiasm and life. And I always liked that, because I like that brimming with joy and happiness and love. It's like a big family.
So when you chanted, you felt connected there.
Connected.
Wow. And that was when? I think how many years has been?
Yeah, around 1986 March.
Oh my God. So it's been more than 20,
30,
25
40.
years. 30, 40 years.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. We'll continue this little later. Now, when you started chanting, then let's talk about your professional journey also, because always a personal journey, always, it blends into professional.
Yes.
So when you started chanting and you felt your professional journey also evolved,
Yes.
because you wanted to go into administrative things and you wanted to be into that, handling things.
Yes.
And PR.
Yeah.
So how did that happen? Because when you came to Bangalore after marriage and then your husband said, okay, you can work here, and you were in Bangalore. So can you just share those incidents with us?
Yeah. So I didn't want to just look around on the four walls, or be alone at home, coming from such big vibrant families, and then wanted to make use of the education and knowledge which was a gift to me. So then, and my husband was very open minded, a broad minded person, so who prompted me, yes, do what you want to do in life. And that's when I seeked jobs. So looking at my education of MSc chemistry, I got into quality control jobs of job workers for Cipla, that was Canfa Labs. I worked there for a year, but then I realized that it is a very focused and my interest job, like only science based and single person working.
Right.
But I always wanted to interact with people.
Networking.
So I started praying, as you said, like it is a gradual journey in faith,
Right.
which deepened my faith. So I started praying about it. Ki I want to meet people, I want to be with people, and that's when this job came along. Where
So by the time you had started chanting.
yes, and this helped me, and the family support of my husband. And then without applying for the job, the job came to me as a thing, like, would you like to join an architect and interior designer's office where you would be doing public relations work as well as admin. So it was a combination of my dream coming true. And
on the backdrop of chanting, which you
Chanting.
say ki if you really want something, the universe conspires to bring it to you.
yes, it really happened. And I joined Raja Vatve Associates, and I worked there for 16 long years.
Wow.
So you can imagine how comfortable and how fulfilling that job must have been.
Right. Wow. Amazing. Now, during these times, we had shared some very, I would say a very sad memory also, that when we discussed that you wanted to conceive, but you had a lot of 2 or 3 miscarriages with it. And how did you? I'm so sorry for that. How did you cope up with those miscarriages?
Yeah, in the beginning, every couple is enthusiastic about having a child,
Right.
and we too were. And when it didn't happen, so I was already in the practice of Buddhism, and we take guidance from seniors. And looking at my condition, I was given that because it was happening not once, twice, thrice.
Right.
So why is it repeatedly happening? Why we are not able to get what we want? Because every practice, every religion, every faith makes you believe that you will get what you want.
Right.
Yeah. So this is Buddhism teaches that what you want is different from what is best for you. And I was given the guidance ki maybe in a lifespan, what a person has to go through in just 3 months or 2 months of living that life in the womb, the person or the life is overcoming one lifetime's karma or suffering. So the life is getting enlightened in a shorter span of life.
So you're helping the person to.
Overcome their karma, negative karma. And this was not a consolation, but was real fact कि yes, we all live this life till we complete our mission in life, or it's a series of your karmas, right? What we sow,
Right.
same thing we reap.
Reap.
And also that I was not made, or we were not made to be just taking care of 1, 2, 3 children, but world was ours. The stage is full world. We had a different mission of taking care of many more children probably, or touching many more lives, you can say.
Which you're doing right now.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, because हर इंसान को वो कोई भी दुख होता है, they have to go through it, but
Yes.
you went through it with with that belief that yes,
Yes.
that this is what has happened and this is going to take me to a very different level and a mission.
Yes, because every seemingly negative condition in one's life always has a positivity in life. It becomes a stepping stone for you to look forward to something which is better for you.
Yeah.
We don't know. A human being cannot see its own eyebrows,
Right.
which are so close, but you can see the stars.
Right. And your husband guided you through it, and both of you took this step together.
Yes.
And you decided that no, we'll not try again, we'll not have babies or kids, but the whole world is our kid.
Yeah. So I didn't wanted an assisted pregnancy or something like where, it's one pang that I don't have a child. But suppose the child is deformed or is differently abled,
Yes. Yeah,
but that would be a bigger pang for the life which I'm giving.
absolutely.
So it will not be a gift, but it will be a suffering I'm handing on to that child.
Right. Wow. And that's what Buddhism teaches you.
Yes. So it didn't, a regret became a stepping stone to my further life ahead.
Wow. So, such a big thought. Normal log ye nahi kar sakte.
Yeah.
But I think you guys were and are made for a different mission.
Yes.
Yes, Preeti, that was a very heartwarming story. But yes, again, full of power and resilience, which you showed.
Yes.
And today, you have overcome that and you are moving ahead with a very strong foothold.
Yeah.
So, बहुत माहौल थोड़ा सा गरम गरम हो गया है ना. So let's make it little lighter. And आपने बताया था कि आपको पिक्चर देखने का शौक है, गाना सुनने का शौक है और गाना गाने का भी शौक है. तो थोड़ा सा हम बॉलीवुड मस्ती करते हैं आपके साथ, चलेगा?
Sure.
ठीक है. Okay. So let me glasses पहन लूँ, दिखता नहीं है. So let's start with the Bollywood questions where I would want you to be very, very spontaneous.
Okay.
Okay? Just relax.
Yeah.
ऐसी बड़ी कुछ क्वेश्चन नहीं है, एग्जाम नहीं दे रहे हम लोग,
हाँ.
ठीक है? Okay. We'll have first round of rapid fire. Then we'll have a generalized question where I'll give you options.
Okay.
Here I'm not going to give you options.
Okay.
Okay. The rapid fire is of 5 questions. And your time starts now. Number 1. Which Bollywood film features the iconic dialogue Mocambo खुश हुआ?
अरे मिस्टर इंडिया अनिल कपूर थे ना उसमें.
Wow. Second, in the movie Sholay, what was the name of the village जहाँ ये कहानी हुई?
रामगढ़.
क्या बात है, पूरे बॉलीवुड हो. Number 3, which Bollywood film features the famous song छैया छैया shot on top of the moving train?
दिल से बोलूं.
बाप रे, all 3 out of 3. Number 4, which director of Bollywood is known as the showman of Bollywood?
The great Rajkumar.
Raj
Kapoor.
Kapoor. Number 5. In the movie 3 Idiots, देखिए ना, what was Rancho's real name?
Oh, फुनसुक वांगडू.
By God, कितनी movies देखते हो दिन भर में?
सारी movies.
Okay, so let's now move on to a MCQ based thing. Exam दिए थे ना MCQ वाले
Yeah.
types? वैसे ही है, ठीक है? So first question of Bollywood, which is coming right up, is about a movie. So what was the first Bollywood movie आपके ज़माने से बहुत पहले to be nominated for an academic award? The options are A. Mughal Azam, B. Mother India, C. Lagan, जो अभी की है, और D. Salaam Bombay.
Mother India.
Yes. Second question for you. Who played the role of Vijay in the iconic movie Diwar?
The iconic अमिताभ बच्चन.
Option तो बोलने दो.
अरे मेरे को तो आंसर मालूम है.
ठीक है. Okay, the next one. मतलब I think the questions are too easy for you.
No, not that. Because I liked Amitabh Bachchan in that movie.
Right.
That's why.
तीसरा वाला question. Which Bollywood movie popularized the song बोले चूड़ियाँ? जैसे बोले चूड़ियाँ. So A. कभी खुशी कभी गम. B. दिलवाले दुल्हनिया ले जाएंगे. C. मोहब्बतें. D. कुछ कुछ होता है.
कभी खुशी कभी गम.
Right. So now you are 3 out of 3 in this. Now, number 4. Who directed the movie दिल चाहता है? देखिए ना. So A, I'll give you options. Tension मत लो. करण जौहर. B. इम्तियाज अली. C. फरहान अख्तर. डी जोया अख्तर?
फरहान अख्तर.
हाँ, उस मूवी में भी था कि नहीं था? अब ये नहीं पता. नंबर 5, इन द मूवी कुछ कुछ होता है, व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ द समर कैंप? आई विल गिव यू ऑप्शंस, टेंशन नहीं लेना का. कैंप लव, कैंप सनशाइन, कैंप पंजाबी, कैंप यूनिटी.
कैंप पंजाबी.
No, it's Camp Sunshine. Okay, one wrong. So we are still good. 90% के ऊपर हैं हम. Next, which Bollywood actress is known as the dream girl? ये तो मैं ऑप्शन दे के बिना भी बता सकते हो, पर still I'll give you option. A. मधुबाला, B. रेखा, D. C. श्रीदेवी, D. हेमा मालिनी.
हेमा मालिनी.
Absolutely right. Next one for you. What was the name of the female lead character in DDLJ? दिलवाले दुल्हनिया ले जाएंगे. A. अंजलि, B. पूजा, C. सिमरन, D. प्रिया.
सिमरन. इतने सारे बच्चों के नाम सिमरन रखे गए उसके बाद.
और जा सिमरन जा, जी ले अपनी जिंदगी. Next question. Which Bollywood actor is famously known as the king of romance? Option दो.
बगैर बोले ही शाहरुख.
Shahrukh Khan. Yes. The last question for you.
Okay.
Who is known as the Mozart of Indian music industry? Options are A. Adi Burman, B. A.R. Rahman, C. Shankar Mahadevan, and D. Vishal Bhardwaj.
A.R. रहमान.
Yes. So music तो आपका अंदर ही अंदर है. So on this note, you are a very multi-talented personality, Preeti, and how can we all miss to hear your melodious voice? So would you grace us by singing a nice song, which I think you should do that.
अरे melodious voice, like beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Same way, it's the ear for music. Like if you enjoy a song, you enjoy it, whatever melodious it is. The song which motivates me today is जब कोई बात बिगड़ जाए, जब कोई मुश्किल आ जाए, तब देना साथ मेरा ओ हम नवा. न कोई है न कोई था जिंदगी में तुम्हारे सिवा, तुम देना मेरा साथ ओ हम नवा. इसमें मैं अपने वर्ड्स भी डालती हूँ, अपनी ट्यून भी डालती हूँ.
Wow, thank you so much for being such a sport and singing what really means to you.
Yes.
So I know that you keep singing in your house. जब अकेले होते हो, खाना बना रहे होते हो, गाना गाते हो.
नहीं, बस को भगाने के लिए मैं गाना गाती हूँ.
Okay. So now Bollywood खत्म हो गया, गाना भी खत्म हो गया. अब हम अपनी जर्नी में चलते हैं. Again, that journey which has shaped you who you are. Okay, let's walk the path of spirituality again.
All right.
Now coming to you are already now working and you are chanting and you are in a very happy place and you overcome a loss, but you again your car came back on the track and said कि कोई बात नहीं, जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है.
Yes.
And now but God had different plans for you still, because कहते हैं ना, भगवान परीक्षाएं उन्हीं की लेता है जिनमें ताकत होती है. तो you had a very serious sort of a disease in medical terminology which is known as pemphigus. That is pemphigus vulgaris. So would you like to share that incident with us, that how did it happen and how were you? It's a long disease, so we will take it step by step. So would you tell us from the beginning?
Yeah, in about 2002, like after practicing for so long, since 1986 I was practicing, and you always feel ki you're on the right track, right? But when I encountered this disease, pemphigus vulgaris, and when for 1 year we were going pole to post, because there were big almond-sized blisters on my skin, on my torso, which would erupt and burst at any time, and the fluid will just keep flowing out, and we didn't know what it was.
And एकदम से चालू हुआ था अपने आप.
It was just out of the blue. Suddenly you had on the stomach, and then it was like an unknown disease. I was like a bubble sheet, what you use for wrapping things. So it was like a bubble sheet, but big, blisters.
Yes.
And naturally, we contacted skin specialist and went to various doctors. Bangalore being such an modern city, we had huge number of doctors we visited, but to no avail. Nobody could diagnose what it is, and I was suffering day after day. We didn't know what to do with it, what medication. The doctors would change medication every day. They will ask me to put so many ointments. So apart from draining my own energies, it was also a drain of the money.
Right.
And we could not share it with anybody, but also because we didn't know what was happening in life. And since I believe every life moves on the path of karma, so I was wondering what karma have I created or done that I have faced this. So contacting my seniors in faith, in Namya Horengekyo, in my Nichiren Daishonin's Buddhism, I was told that what cannot be cured medically can be cured karmically with the sword of Namya Horengekyo. So I didn't understand this statement. Every disease can be,
Yeah, cured medically.
cured
because
medically.
Every
And
disease
doctors
has a
are
cure.
experts in this.
Right.
But they just asked me to chant abundantly. Keep on chanting, you will get an answer. You will get the wisdom and you will overcome, because there's nothing which one cannot overcome in life. You are destined to have it. I'm not saying one will not face any trouble or problems in life, but you will have a solution to it.
तो आपने चैंटिंग भी करी साथ में, मेडिकेशन भी साथ में करा, बट वाज इट हेल्पिंग एट दैट मोमेंट?
No, it was not. It took a year. And that's when I really started chanting that when Namya Horengekyo can align lives. People believe in something because it is aligning their lives. So it can align lives. Why not myself in the body?
So that means you chanted for all, to get well, to find the right doctor.
Yes.
Like this you
So I
chanted?
will tell you what my prayer was. My prayer was for right doctor, right diagnosis, and right treatment.
Okay. So you chanted, you were chanting Namya Horengekyo, but in your mind you were wanting कि मुझे ये चाहिए.
Yes. So there is always a purpose, a goal. You just don't chant without anything. Like it's not a dead end. There is no dead ends. You cannot be deadlocked. You have to have a solution. Some door will open. Keep knocking. So when we continued chanting, we increased our chanting, our belief, our faith, reading so many guidances, reading so many times, the Gautam Buddha's this thing, sutras and everything. So we came to know that once you chant with a kind of target for right doctor, right diagnosis, right treatment, that's when at a medical shop we were told that why don't you see Dr. Srinivas Murthy, who's a skin specialist in Bangalore. And we were trying to meet him, but he was out of country.
Okay.
Then he said, no, he's just come back a day back. And that's when I called up the clinic and I told the receptionist. She kind of laughed at me and said, do you think the doctor has come or cut short his trip by 2 months? It is for his patients. So the appointments are full for next 2 months. You can't even meet him. Then I told my condition and I said, I just want you to convey this condition to the doctor. And whole night, me and my husband, we both chanted for this right doctor, right diagnosis.
And उसके बीच में when you were having blisters and everything and it was so difficult to sit at one place, you were still chanting.
I was still chanting. I didn't miss a day of my office. I did not miss any meetings. You won't believe the water used to keep flowing down. I also had it in my head and it will get calcified. I couldn't comb my hair for 1 year. And have you ever seen the TV ad of Onida with those 2 horns? I was like that devil. And I used to have 2 horns on my head, white color, which I used to cover with my hair and clip it. And the wearing clothes was so difficult. So I would just put, because doctors said don't put cotton. Any strand of cotton would lead to further infection, even though they were not able to diagnose. But then it used to get stuck. Every half an hour, every hour, I was changing clothes. And loose clothes or, just wrap around some dupatta or some muslin cloth and sit. And I could not sleep. It was on my torso. So I used to sit and sleep with so many pillows around me. It was in sitting position. And
Yes.
it was at one point of time I didn't want to live. I was like the body, the skin, it was of the skin, so it used to rot and peel off.
Oh my God.
So, have you ever seen a garbage van passing by or a
अजीब
garbage
सी
thing?
स्मेल जो आती है.
So, I wouldn't like to tell the viewers that it was that condition, but it was seriously an awful smell used to come from the rotting of the skin.
And then how did you, you're going to office and all that. How did you manage that time? That smell was there and people didn't say
Yes, so I would keep towels and napkins and things like that around me, which I used to douse with so much of perfume, so that it will overpower the smell of my skin. Because my boss was so compassionate, he said, nothing doing, you will continue to come to office. I had resigned from my job, but he said you will come, and he used to sit and do my work,
anything.
filing or talking to people and all the admin work and everything. He used to type letters, he used to send emails, everything he was doing. So it was not even accepted. But then he said, nothing, you don't sit at home. And I was given kind of one of the doctors mentioned that how are you alive with this kind of condition?
Because pemphigus is actually a life-threatening condition.
Yeah, so they said ki, since your organs may be fine, but since your skin is not existing,
Yeah.
how will told, so there will be no body. So he gave me 3 months to live. He said, max. I said, doctor, how much time do I have when the whole body will disintegrate? He said, max 3 months, maybe 2 months, maybe a month. So every morning when I used to wake up, it was like a gift. Open my eyes and feel ki you are alive.
Because that
So
must
living
be-
that one day of life was living a lifetime.
Well, just can we have some tissues, please?
So now I don't have a regret, but at that time it was very difficult to pass through that. And the biggest strength was my husband, who looked after me throughout. He being in the marketing and had a traveling job, because he was taking care of the world marketing apart from not only in India, he used to travel abroad. So he put away traveling for at least a year, jeopardizing his own job. He looked after me.
अपनी वाइफ का ख्याल रखना हर हस्बैंड का होता है, पर योर हस्बैंड रियली डिड दैट.
Yeah, he went out of his way, because to put medicines nobody else could put, or at the back and things like that. So small details I cannot share, but it was really very, very heart touching that how I was brought out of that condition and looked after till the next day. Even that much had so much of meaning for me.
And every day, on that backdrop of every day, you used
Yeah.
to chant.
I used
But
to
your
chant.
faith didn't waver.
Faith did not waver, because we respect life. We respect every life. Even plants have life, but respecting another life, because each one has the potential. Each one is a Buddha within. It's up to us to tap what potential. So why not bring out that strength? So I said, I have a mission in life. I have overcome so much in past, so I cannot give up at this moment. And as I told you, it came from the values of my family. Never give up in any situation. My in-laws, my everybody was like a total big support to me.
Yes.
Nobody questioned, nobody did anything. But physically, it was my husband who was truly taking care of me in spite of anything.
Wow. And yes, my God. I'll also take a moment right now, but hearing that also sends shivers, because being a doctor, yes, we have seen cases of pemphigus, we have seen patients deteriorating, and I can well imagine, Preeti, how the journey must have been until you found Dr. Srinivas. So that night you both, your
Chanted.
husband and you, sat and chanted.
Yeah.
And then what happened the next day?
Yeah, so we knew for sure that we will find the right doctor. And next morning, there was a call from Dr. Srinivas Murthy. And he said, I would like to see you right away.
जिनके पास अपॉइंटमेंट ही नहीं था,
नहीं
3
था, 2
महीने
महीने
का.
तक. And we went, and when I entered his cabin, just looking at me, he said, you're a case of pemphigus vulgaris.
जो कोई डॉक्टर नहीं डायग्नोस कर पाया.
Diagnose नहीं किया था अभी तक, 1 साल से. And he just looked at me, and probably he smelt or whatever, but his diagnosis was so right. So we had already crossed 2 steps. We had found the doctor. We had, he said, I will start treatment right away because it's in advanced stage. and you need treatment right away, though there is no cure for this. That really was a kind of an arrow which went through my heart.
Right.
There is no cure for this life-threatening disease, but I will put it under control. So he gave me the confidence. So I was even more confident, and I was chanting from within. He said, I will do a biopsy, and kind of the reports will come after 2-3 days. But if you want to wait for the report to confirm that it is this, I would like to start the treatment right away. So when we had suffered so much, then I said, please go ahead, because I was confident to give it a try.
Right. So once the doctor started the treatment, normally pemphigus treatment requires steroids. So when you started the treatment, डर तो लगा होगा क्योंकि steroids के छोटे टर्म के लिए steroids के इतने effects नहीं होते. जब when you take it for long, because this disease requires steroids, when you take it for long, there's a lot of side effects of steroids.
Yes.
Like osteoporosis, eyesight problems. Then you'll have also, face पे freckles and lot of problems with that. Steroids के multiple problems होते हैं. So didn't you think of that, and were you hesitant? क्या था वो?
See, since I was very confident, I felt confident with the doctor. So he told me, I have to give you the highest dosage of steroids, and there will be side effects. Something like you'll age 15 years prior to your age. So as you mentioned, freckles, this thing like, wrinkling of the skin and white graying of hair.
Right.
And in terms of menopausal
Yes,
effects
that is
will
also
be there.
one important symptom.
Yes. And we had already overcome that problem of, thinking that we don't want to have
extended
children.
family. Yeah.
Yes, so we do have an extended family. But at that time, they say na, like, डूबते को तिनका का सहारा होता है. तो वो ही I took it as, hanging on with Dr. Srinivas Murthy for my treatment.
So in 1 week, which he promised, he brought the
Yes.
disease down.
So there were no, eruptions, new fresh eruptions of pemphigus. I was under control, but as you know, steroids made me so dazed and dull.
Yeah, and there were other patients also he had, and he shared his experiences with you.
I will tell you about that.
Yeah.
Along with me in that same week, there were 2
So now pemphigus is a disease के बाद में steroid खाते खाते, and itself the disease also weakens you.
Yeah.
So how did you manage to come out of it? Now you are, touch wood, by God's grace, you are, healthy, and you're smiling, and you are the same Preeti as before the disease.
Yes.
So how did you manage that you survived the disease? Share the story with us, Preeti.
So, as a inquisitive person, I did Google about it, and it said even if the disease does not kill you, the effect of steroids will kill you. So when I told this to my doctor, he was so upset with me. Then I said, no, I should not listen to all this. When I'm believing in the Lotus Sutra, when I'm believing in my chant, then I should cure it karmically. Because there is an anecdote or story about King Ajatashatru. He too had slandered in his life by killing his own father for the throne. And such eruptions on the skin had erupted for him.
But it was not known as pemphigus at that
That time. So he suffered that way. But then when he went to Gautam Buddha and got himself pardoned, his disease vanished. And if you remember in the beginning of the show, I had mentioned what cannot be cured medically can be cured karmically.
Karmically, yes.
So there are some diseases of the skin which are karmic.
Okay.
And that came true in my this thing also, because I was under the umbrella of Namya Horenge Kyo. And I continued to believe that every cell in my body pulsates with Namya Horenge Kyo and will reach out and will align itself with the law of the universe, which is law of life. So, as you are aware, you are a doctor too, and you know it was an auto reverse of the immune system. So the cells were working in opposite direction.
Right.
So how to align them? I cannot go to every cell, but Namya Horenge Kyo penetrated every cell and aligned, and also the doctor.
Yes, and the medical part of it. The
Medical.
Simon medical as well as
The balance between.
balance between Namyoho Rengekyo. Even Dr. Srinivas must be amazed because he's seeing patients withering off and going downhill, but you were maintaining there. So what was his reaction?
So he asked, the other two patients give. Came from within because of my faith in Namya Horenge Kyo. Ki I will prolong my life and complete my mission in life, what I'm made to do, what I'm born for. I cannot be defeated by a disease and not complete my mission in life, or be a source of sorrow to my family. I cannot. I'm born to be happy and spread happiness.
And that's what happened then.
And Dr. Srinivas Murthy was amazed. He said, whatever you're doing, sometimes he used to forget Namya Horenge. He said, whatever some meditation when chanting what you're doing, please do. I would like to tell my other patients too. So I said, there is a phrase called in our Buddhism that changing poison into medicine. If you are a doctor, so you know even vaccinations come from medicine cells. So he gave me different dosages at different times. He said, I'm trying out
What a story.
Hmm.
And there are many other incidents like this
Yeah.
in different people's life who have chanted Namyoho Renge Kyo and adopted Buddhism as their daily routine.
Yeah.
So, would you like to share some of them with
Yeah,
us?
see, all of us means most of us are born as with any deity in mind, and you pray to that. So this is part of Hinduism. It's complementary to Hinduism. Gautam Buddha's highest teaching is Namya Renge Kyo, Lotus Sutra. The title is Namya Renge Kyo, and many people have benefited. They've gone from rugs to riches. I know of a family who used to sell these holy colors
हाँ
during Holi, then those fuljaris
हाँ
during
वो जो दिवाली के
Diwali
टाइम
time.
हाँ
That much, family of 2, 3 kids, and the parents, they had just one room, one bed. The children used to sleep below the bed,
चारपाई के नीचे
चारपाई के नीचे. That family today, he's holding a regional head's position in a big company like Samsung.
wow and they
Through
all believed
chanting,
in
it's through faith. It is nothing, no, like not gone to very good schools, gone to, very like small schools where, but education remains same. Then I was again reminded that education was the wealth which made them, and along with this faith, believing deeply into this, they have touched the heights what they are on today.
right
With, so there are so many examples. There are children, there are aged people, there are every walk of life you'll find experiences with this. I can go on and on, but it's something to experience.
not to talk about
It's nothing to talk, but it's the actual proof. See, in history we read that one did this, that one did that. We have some of them you may have met, but here your person is right in front of you. I am what I am today.
right
You
And
know,
you are
there
the
was
live
a day.
example
Yeah, there was a day when I had covered my mirror with a towel. I didn't want to look at myself, but I realized the value of one day, one day of life. Even a leper clings to his life.
Yes.
But then how I overcame, so that really was a miracle for me.
and that's
That
what you
deepened
want to
my faith further.
impart to people also
Yes, so it's not just for oneself, practicing for one's own happiness, also for others. And that's when I realized that this was my mission.
So, Preeti, once you have now come out of your disease and you are very happy, didn't you want to share it with the people who made this happen? And did you share it?
Of course, I was overjoyed, as I mentioned, and I wanted to share this victory in life with everyone around me, especially those who chanted for me, those who helped me, supported me. So, through this Buddhism that we practice for oneself as well as for others, we would like to have absolute happiness in our life and also have others feel the same.
तो किसको
So-
बताया आपने जाके?
So, in 2006, I was invited to Japan by our organization, which is Bharat Sukha Gakkai. It's a part of international organization called Sukha Gakkai International.
Okay.
And it is this Buddhism and organization exists in 198 countries today
Wow.
and territories. So there are millions of members chanting. And this, I was invited to Japan, where in front of 500 people, I was asked to share this victory as an experience, how I overcame, how I chanted. And later on, I got to know that it was not just 500 as my audience, it was telecasted nationwide.
Live.
Yeah. And
Wow.
that was something which touched me, and I was able to touch so many lives. With this, I want everyone to not to be defeated by anything in life, any obstacle when they encounter. Like there are no deadlocks in this. When you reach a wall, you should have the wings to fly over.
Understood.
Right?
Wow. That's
So these are the wings. Namya Horengekyo is the wings with which you can fly and soar higher and higher into the sky. So this message, when was telecasted, and I felt that I should go and tell each and every person not to suffer. I want to remove suffering from people's lives. I want them to be happy. And that is why in this organization, when I joined, I was just a member. Then I grew as group chief, district chief, chapter chief, then city leaders. And today I'm South India leader for women's division and cubs, which I told you, children.
Right.
Now these cubs will also, we are instilling the same values in them. Today they are up to fifth standard, but in 2030 they will be the youth of the country. And imagine if when each person is so much at peace and has the strength and invincible spirit, they can grow and make the world such a beautiful place to live in. So I believe that I must propagate this to as many people and bring happiness into their lives. I've traveled everywhere. I talk to people about it. I interact, which I told you I love interacting with people. Anybody in suffering, anybody wants to achieve something, I show them the path. And this is exactly that, even though when we are not alive, maybe in 2070, 2080, 2090, when we are not there, our values will still continue to live among people.
So that's what the mission of Namyoho Rengekyo is.
And that was the mission of a life. That was the mission, that we didn't just educate one child, two children, but the world was a stage.
So you go to different places,
Yes.
different conferences, and every meetings you have
Yes.
regularly
And
as an organization.
Yeah, and we always tell people that when they are suffering, it's as if they are in winter. Winter never fails to turn into spring. And darker the night, brighter is the dawn. And the most important message which I want to give to the people is that a human revolution in just a single individual can bring about a change in the destiny of the humankind.
Wow. Nice. So, Preeti, you are now spiritually awakened with immense knowledge. But apart from this spirituality, you are also a person who wants to bring about social change.
Yes.
So, talking about composting. So, would you share some nice incidents with us that apart from spirituality, apart from your professional life, you are also dedicating to life to social causes?
Yes. And gardening has been my passion, and that is also the way to make the world beautiful. And I feel that every human being, it is their duty to keep the earth as green as possible, or a beautiful place to live. And in the apartments where I live, Mantri Paradise, I was dedicated to making a change in the society there, or giving back to the nature. And this thought about composting and procuring green manure out of whatever waste we have, the wet waste. So it's not total composting that way, but it is only green manure, like the fruits and the vegetables and all that we compose, and we produce manure, which is being used for the garden of the apartments as well as for all the residents. We also provide to outsiders because we're procuring so much, and this is all done as a team. And in fact, tomorrow we are having the award ceremony where they are awarding Mantri Paradise as one of the first apartments in Bangalore South for achieving this 100% goal. We have phase 1 and phase 2, and also individually we will be awarded by Indian Pollution Control Association and Mother Sons.
Amazing. But still a question lingers, and I think in my mind and in the audience mind also, what is Namyoho Rengekyo?
Yeah, I would say Namyoho Rengekyo is the best gift my husband has ever given me. It is the greatest joy to chant Namyoho Rengekyo. It is a way of life. Namyoho Rengekyo actually is the title of the Lotus Sutra, which was taught by Gautam Buddha.
Okay.
And out of 80,000 sutras, this was the highest teaching. And it means I believe in the law of cause and effect, which is the law of life, which is the law of universe. So cause and effect is nothing but karma. So
Right.
believing in the law of karma. So this Nichiren Daishonin's Buddhism is complementary to Hinduism. It is not a separate religion. It is complementary. That is why we are able to balance life. We are born Hindus, but I'm able to balance this because This Lotus Sutra, why it is titled Lotus Sutra? Because it tells us that lotus flower is the only flower which flowers and seeds simultaneously.
Right.
And karma is same. The moment you make a cause or you create a karma in your life, you immediately have the effect embedded in your life.
Wow.
So it can be through words, deeds, anything, but it is embedded in your life.
Right.
So it will manifest itself as and when,
Right.
right? So what we are today is because of the past karmas you have created. And what you will be in future is what you create today.
Right.
So don't you think you have the power to create your destiny, your future? It's the greatest good fortune that we can make changes in our destiny. I'm not saying you can completely, today, if you're Preeti, you will become Shah Rukh Khan tomorrow. No.
Right.
But it is that what your life has in hold for you, which karmas you have created in the past, you can rectify them, you can mend them, you can create the good fortune and lessen the suffering
Wow.
or have greater achievements. It works both ways. Maybe when you want to achieve something, you can chant for it. Because this Buddhism says enlightenment, like worldly affairs, leads to enlightenment. It's not that I have to shave my head and sit and do penance or something like that. It is way of life. Buddhism is daily life. So when I was talking about the lotus flower, it is the purest flower,
Right.
the most beautiful flower.
कीचड़ में होता है.
कीचड़ में उगता है.
हाँ.
It comes from a muddy pond, but when you get it, there's not a single dust speck or mud on it, right?
Yes.
And it is offered to the God, which is the
Yes.
purest.
Purest.
So how did it get, like, you get it from muddy pond? So world is like a muddy pond, and you should bloom. Your life should bloom like a lotus flower from that. So when we question ki how does the lotus flower become so beautiful when the surrounding is so dirty? Because it takes the nutrients it requires from that mud
And leaves the mud behind.
and leaves the rest behind. So one should grow what you need in life to nourish yourself. You need the sun, you need the people, you need your surroundings, you need your education, you need your family. With that, using those strengths, grow and bloom like a lotus flower. Rise above.
Amazing, Preeti. Amazing. What a nice explanation of Namyo Rengekyo. And you are teaching even the elderly, the kids, and the youngsters also.
Yes. Now, like we call them the cubs, children up to fifth standard. They are also chanting. They may chant 3 times, 1 time, 4 times in 5 days, in one day, but they too have their own goals. I remember a child where mother used to keep telling, keep brush your teeth before you sleep, and he used to keep getting irritated. One day he comes up to me and says that I chanted 3 Daimoku. That Daimoku is Namyo Rengekyo. I have this, I chanted 3 times, and then I decided that I should not trouble my mother. I will start brushing my teeth every day. And today he brushes every day.
Wow.
So, see, it helped him achieve his goal or his achievement. So, it helps every life. It touches every life. It's up to you.
How you want to make
See,
good
when
use
you are
of it.
started to chant, victory is, predetermined because you're on the path to victory. If you get into medical college, you're on the path to become doctor. But how many times you fail or pass depends on you,
Right.
right? Same way, if you're on this path of chanting Namyo Rengekyo, victory is assured 100%. Good circumstances in this lifetime and in the next, right? Good fortune will be created. But how and when you want to manifest? So when you want to manifest, the negative karma will emerge. Some people get scared. Oh, I started chanting and I started facing more problems instead of coming out of my problem.
But that is karma.
But that is like a pipe. First, when you pour water, the dust will flow out, and then the clean water starts flowing out. So if you need 24 hours of internal happiness, a 24 hours supply of internal happiness, chant without any goal also. It is like in the bank, you're just depositing. When the rainy days, you will not need to, save, you will have the money.
Amazing, amazing. Wow, Preeti, thank you so much for giving such a detailed explanation of Namyo Rengekyo, which actually really enlightened me today. And
Thank you.
you have also scored very well in your Bollywood. So for that, there's a small token of appreciation from our side, from Dog Diaries,
Thank
to
you so much.
for
I'm
being on
honored.
this show and clearing the Bollywood.
Thank you so much.
And also a small token again of appreciation for people who come on our show. You have made it this far, had the courage and the resilience to share your story with us, the story of amazing personal growth. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you so much, Preeti. It's been an honor to be on this show, and it was the greatest, one of the good fortunes.
Thank you, Preeti. Namaste.
Thank you so much.
So, guys, how did you like the show? This show was about Preeti's courage, resilience, and love, and the power of the belief in herself. So, what did we learn today from this episode? We learned that number one, that once you give love, you receive love. और फैमिली ही सब कुछ है हमारी, फैमिली के बिना हम बहुत अधूरे हैं. And the third point, which is the most important point, is that you should believe in yourself and have faith. Because once you have faith and you believe, the universe conspires to get it to you. So guys, if you like this episode, please subscribe to our channel and share it across and shower your love on it. Till next time, Har Har Mahadev.